What's up, guys? Today's video, I'm just gonna go over Bookmine again, just kind of how I source and how I find my books. And I've been using Bookmine exclusively for a little bit now. You can use Keepa, and if you want to go through all the filters, but Bookmine just kind of streamlines the filtering process, and so it just kind of makes it quicker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's just a few seconds quicker or a few minutes quicker, it adds up over time. But first things first, you can see behind me, I'm in an apartment. I'm no longer in my old house. We moved to Oklahoma, and we moved into an apartment. So I am trying out a new mic. I got the DJI mic because I need to be a little bit more portable. I got a new job, which I'm going to be traveling for a little bit, so I might have different sceneries and stuff. And then I'm also I'm getting certified as a QuickBooks Pro advisor. So I'm trying to become a bookkeeper. So here in the future soon, I will be offering some bookkeeping services. If anybody is interested, I'd like to see, if there is anybody interested out there with bookkeeping, because that's kind of where I'm going. I really enjoy doing the back end stuff, as you can see with my last videos. That's kind of my favorite part of it. But the most important part, obviously, for this business is sourcing. So let's dive into that. So Bookmine, there is a link in the description if you want to check it out. There's, I think, a 15-day free trial with it. How I use it recently, at least, I've been going into number one, I always take out close and good. That just narrows it down a little bit more for me, because I would I'd like to get this number a little bit lower than 4,000. 4,000 is just a little bit much for me to source through. So I take out the good and close on the profit meter, and then I come up here to this use price slider, because currently I'm trying to get my inventory up. My inventory has been pretty low lately. It's been since Christmas, I had dropped down to almost 600 in inventory, and then I've been kind of building it back slowly since then. But I've been really focusing on the back end stuff, trying to get my accounting right and everything. So I haven't really been building it quickly. So now I'm kind of really focusing in on trying to build my inventory back. So I'm trying to buy as much as I can, buy as many books as I can. But of course, that requires money to do so. So I've been taking this use price slider all the way down to 12 or 13. That way I can find, as many books as I can buy for under $100. And I always go over $100 if I hit 10 books. But if I can hit 10 books and spend like $120, $130, that's not too bad for me. But I'm looking for books kind of like this one right here. It seems like there might be a seasonality to it, maybe in the December, January season. And right now it's June. I'm definitely picking up the books that are going to sell during that time right now, because this is the time to buy those Christmas heavy books. Seems like there might be. Just making sure you guys can hear me. This new mic, I'm nervous about it. But anyways, so if we come down here and we look a little bit deeper into this book, if Amazon will load, look a little bit deeper, you can see that there was a spike in demand, went from 23 and then it dropped all the way down to 3 and then went down to nothing in stock. And as you can see, the price of it, you can see the drops in sales rank right here. So it's definitely a correlation to that. There isn't like any weird business going on with it, not like a high pricing error or counterfeit problems. So it pops up into the 60s, and right now we're able to get it under 10 bucks at 8.43. Now the question is, you see this looks like an amazing book for this year, but because we're looking at the year look right now. So now your next step with this is you're going to want to look at the all time. And if it continues to do that, and if it stays up there in price, which this one looks like it does a pretty decent job of staying up there in price. If it stays up there in price, it's a pretty good book to look at, especially at $8.43. Yeah, so this book consistently stays up for the since 2021. It always seems to come back up, and even stays in the 28, 27, but it always seems to come back up into the 60s, 50s, 40s, 90s. So this is a really good book, honestly, because even, let's look at it a little bit deeper, make sure we're not getting, okay, so it is acceptable, good. All right, so this is probably the one I would go for. We got it at 7, that's 867. So we can get it at 867. And then the low down here, we're looking at 26, 28. It goes lower, obviously, but let's say we get it for 27. Look at there. That's a 49% ROI. Really not great profits. That's not something, you know, you want by any means. There is a newer edition as well, but this book seems to be doing well, even though there is a newer edition coming out. This is the type of book you want to look for, that even if it goes for that low price of, say, 27 or something, you're still going to be making money on it. It's not like you're going to be losing money. And right now, the used offer count is a little bit lower than it was a year ago. So I can expect that this is probably going to do even better during the Christmas time, and pop up into the 70s and 60s. And if that happens, we get, let's say, 60. We get at 60, that's a huge ROI, 372% ROI at 32. This is an amazing book. I would definitely do this. And if you're watching live, I'm just gonna throw it in my cart. And it looks like there's a few of them you can buy. So, you know, feel free to grab these. If you're watching live, you know, you can grab them now. That's one benefit to watching these videos live whenever I do live sourcing videos. But that is definitely a book. I'm just gonna throw it in my cart, and then if no one takes it at the end, I'll go in and I will take it. Because I will definitely go for that type of book. The next one might be kind of a college book, but it didn't look like there was much of a seasonality to it. It's only $7.91, which is the type of book I'm looking for. There might be a huge Prime Gap issue going on here. Prime Gap issue I'm talking about. Recently we just had what we call the buy box apocalypse, and it pretty much is like the buy box stopped giving it to the prime sellers, which are up here, and started giving it to these FBM sellers, which are way down here, and the lowest used price. So they started favoring the lowest used price, this buy box did. So all these people up here at 44, 45 were hurting because all the buy boxes coming down here to $11 and stuff. But it looks like back here, the lowest used offer count is up here at the 34, excuse me, 40s, 20s, 59, 39, 34. I mean, it's not a bad book, but seeing back here, I mean, the offer count was higher, but it just makes me nervous whenever you don't have it's not historically staying up there in price. Whenever you look back in the 2020s and further behind, it kind of goes down to that $20 price and lower. That makes me a little nervous. If it stayed up there closer to the $30 price, then, you know, I wouldn't be so nervous about it. It has been up there since 2022, so you could definitely sell this book up at that price, especially since the buy box is getting given to the $44 price. You could definitely sell it. I would not add this to my cart right now, and I would not check out with it right now because I don't want another buy box fiasco issue. Because currently, if right now Amazon switched the rules again and gave it to the lowest used offer instead of, you know, the prime offer, then this offer, it would no longer be here. This used buy box price right here would be this price because it's the lowest price. And that would be an issue for this product specifically right now. It could very well change if we just looked at it from right here, then it's an amazing book. Like, I would have no issues with buying this book because even if I bought it at $7.91, I would still make money at $27. But it's not like that. It's currently, down here, and there's 20 of them. If there's only one $7.91, yeah, there's tons, not tons, but there's quite a few of them that are down there below $15. So that's one that I would stay away from. And we would move on. I looked at this one. I think I bought this one before, actually. And then, let's see. Ooh, this one looks decent. I'm just looking at I want to see a drop off in the used price. I want to see it at $6.21. That's an amazing price. It's going to be pretty hard not to make money on this, unless it just stays down there at that $6.21. But if we expand it a little more, it starts up here at 39, and then it just kind of drops off quite a bit. It doesn't have the cliff that I like to see, so it just kind of gradually goes down and down and down. It's a little more concerning. Well, let's look at the past. See, here's another one. It pops up here at this time whenever it went out of stock. It popped up to the 40s, 30s, and it did stay up there for a while, but then it kind of came back down, which the used offer price is coming back down, but it's a little bit higher than it was a year ago. So that it's tough. It's tough to say that this one would for sure make it. So let's come back here. Well, I would say no on that one, if you're wondering. Just because there's not a history of it. There's not a history of the book doing well, and that concerns me. I want to see a history of it, staying up there in price, not just it recently, spiking up. This is a strange graph. There doesn't seem to be any used back here, and then a used offer pops up here, and it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's only been one offer count. Is there like a ton of books in one? It's a prime offer, and then there's a 55. There's only one left. Oh, only one left of this. Not bad. I mean, it'll probably get sold at around the $30 price at $9.50, but we'll probably have to add. Oh, it's a 3-book collection. Nope, no thank you. So what sometimes happens, I'm not saying that this one is specifically happening to this book, but what will happen is you see this $9.50 price, it's quite a bit lower than it's been for a minute. So the new is 55 and the used is 62, and then it drops down to this $9.50. Is probably a pretty experienced seller. I mean, a little bit, not too crazy. But anyways, what probably happens is they probably just scan this book. They only have one of these 3 copies, but whenever they scan it, the ISBN pops up as all 3 of these, and so they don't even look at it because they're probably going through a ton of books, and they just, say $9.50, whatever. But they don't ever put in there that it's only one book, So you'll get the book, you'll see it's only one, and then you're kind of like, okay, what do I do? You don't send it in. That's not an option. You can either return it or try to collect the other 2 at a good price, and it's just not worth the effort, in my opinion. You could definitely do it. Some people, make their whole business around doing the bundle thing. Does really well on eBay and stuff. But you obviously can do it on here too. But I just don't. I don't want to hold books at my house. Is the main thing. So I just want to be able to buy the book, send it into Amazon, and then not really think about it too much after that. Because I have a prep center too. So like all of my books are going to my prep center, especially now that I'm living in an apartment. I'm not going to be storing any more books. Now that I live in apartments, I have very little space. Let's see here. So this book doesn't look bad. It's kind of a Horizon offer count, which is concerning. Stays up. What is this? It's 25, 24, 27. It's at, what is it? That's 8, so 909. 909 is not a horrible price, and recently it's been going up there pretty well in price. 40s, 39s. Let's see. It doesn't have a great historical price, but if, say, back here at 25, 22, 27, let's say 27 will probably be the lowest we could get it sold for. You're still making money, still pretty decent ROI on, or money, return on your investment, so return on your money. The used buy box price right now is at 28 even, so we could prop that up to 28 plus some change. And so like we're making $5-6 with the change. Yeah, this is not bad. Is it acceptable? No, it's good. Pretty good feedback rating for the seller. Yeah, this is one I would go for. The historical data isn't, super positive, obviously, and the used offer count is spiking a little bit on this one, but it sells quite a bit. Not a seasonal book or anything, it doesn't seem like. Maybe a little bit in September, but it's more of a. This is more. You could get this sold eventually. Let's see, how many are there that low price? Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's quite a bit actually. 11. Starts to pop up. There's 12. It's 13. Still not quite where I want it. 14. If you're getting closer, 15. There we go. So 28 is the lowest, and it is the prime offer is getting the used buy box at $28.99. So that would be your low. That's the lowest competition you're gonna have for FBA, unless it's tough to say. I don't want to be doing the prime gap thing, but this one, the used offer count stays up pretty well, and there is quite a bit of sales to justify that these lower offers are going to get sold out pretty quickly. It's just tough, these are kind of the ones, you're never going to get a 100% good book, and this is a pretty dang good book besides the high used offer count, because I think that's what's driving the price down. But I would get one of these just to see how it goes. You would eventually get it sold, maybe not for a huge ROI, but you'll eventually get it sold, and it could go for quite a bit. Like if we get it for 40, say, that's $15 at 169% ROI. That's really good, and it's gone for higher. It's sold for 41 here, maybe 44 here. So yeah, I would probably put the highest at 44, expecting to get it sold at like 38-ish, somewhere in there, and that's over 100% ROI. That's pretty dang good. So yeah, I would definitely go for that book, even though it's a dated book. I don't like those, but it looks like it's kind of like a book for either a Bible or a church book or something, and those always do pretty good. This one I'm not eligible to sell. I looked at this one the other day. This one, I can't remember. I remember I looked at this one, but I can't remember. I don't think I went for it, but I don't remember why. Pretty good price. What is that? 6. That's $7.49. The buy box is hitting at 16, but it looked like it might be like a Christmas type book. Let's see here. Dang, yeah, look at that. This book sells like crazy, popping up to 55, 59. Is that a every Christmas thing? Okay, yeah, so no. It does pop up every now and then, but it does not look like it's like every year at this time it pops up. That's not the case right here. What it looks like is it went out of stock, and so everybody's repriced or popped it up to the top, and that's what happened. So I mean, it could happen. Obviously, like there's been several times where it just sells like crazy, just randomly. So it could definitely pop up and you could sell it for quite a bit more, but it's not something I would take a risk on. You could be sitting on this book for a long time, even though it sells like a ton and stuff. Those type of books are also kind of nerve-wracking to me. I don't like those ones that sell a ton, because then you're having more likely get a what do you call that, counterfeit issue, or IP complaint. So it's just those books that sell a lot are a little more nerve wracking to me than the others. Like I'm talking like sell like hundreds of times a month, thousands of times a month. Those ones they're tough. But Amazon wasn't on it, so it is a little, I don't know. I'm just gonna avoid it. a lot of things that I don't like about it. Let's see here. Got a little bit of seasonality on this one, looks like. In September, got a little cluster of sales rank drops here. Pops up to 84s, and then up to 73, 80 again in January. So September, January, probably college book. Definitely looks like one. I am eligible. We'll do one more look here just to protect myself completely here. With college books especially, I always want to check the counterfeit likelihood. Very unlikely, so we're good. So what's the seasonality though, if we look back at the historical? So the used offer count is rising quite a bit. It does always have a seasonality where it pops up during that time. It pops up to 50s, 50s, 59. Right now we're at 10 with Prime. So this would probably be the price we get it at. $14.93 would probably be the lowest price we could get it at. Where I'm gonna be, if you don't know, you can't use Prime in order to buy your books if you're gonna resell it on Amazon. You have to pay for shipping. So I don't have Prime on this account. I have a personal account that I have Prime on. So this doesn't mess with me. So this is gonna probably add like $3.99 or more of shipping. Let's check it out. I've had it add a lot before, unfortunately. Oh wait, no, I can't look at it. So we'll say it's gonna be $3.99. So it'll be $10.99, or sorry, $13.99 would be the price that I get it at. If I get $13.99 and sell it at say 50, let's say 13.99, we sell it at 50. That's a really good return right there. $18, I'll take that all day. And this is definitely gonna get sold during the season. It says, like, I'm saying 50 because you see that it does pop up to 80 last seasons and higher in the seasons before. But since this used offer count is rising so much, I kind of have to assume that it's not going to pop up as much, because from last year it was 17 and this year it's at 30. So it's almost doubled from last year. So I can only assume that this is going to go a little bit lower. So we'll say 60. 70. It could pop up. It could get a huge demand and it pops up even more. But I'm going to assume that it's going to stay around the 60 price, and that's even better at $26 return. That's an amazing book right there. Those seasonal books it's the lifeline of this business, really. Like the season of August, September, and January pretty much, kind of February, but more January than anything. Those are the lifeblood of this whole business. And I've been buying for September for a minute now. I've been trying my best to get as many books as I can for high school and college books, because those are the books that are going to like really bring some money back from it. Let's see, am I even eligible for this one? Yes, I am. Okay. So right now the buy box is at 49. We got a price at $12 right now. Definitely doesn't sell a whole bunch, but previously it's sold in the 28s, 39, 39, 42s looks like. Oh, and this book stays up there. 45, 52, 44, 52. Oh, this is an amazing book. Except for back here in 2017, it looks like it stayed around the 30 price more than anything. But ever since 2018 hit, it's been an amazing book. It always pops up into the 50s. It'll drop down, but it always comes back. So my assumption for looking at the past historical data is that I can see that it's dropping, and like right now it's dropped. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back up to 39, up to 50, up to 60, 70. It's gonna come back to something. So at 1211, it's acceptable. Okay. Oh, missing dust jacket. So yeah, it's definitely an acceptable book. I would not buy this book because of the because of the missing dust jacket. I've had a lot of returns whenever they don't have that, and that is annoying. Maybe this one. I probably wouldn't do this, honestly. I would stay away from the acceptable, especially at 87%. Glenn the Bookseller, I haven't had, issues with them a lot, but I do have issues with them from time to time, and buying an acceptable book from them, I wouldn't do it. If it was a Goodwill, all day, I would buy it for sure. But that is a good book, except for that, and that disqualifies it for me. Other people may not. Some people may like, you know what, I'm going for it. And more power to them. Let's see here. Let's check this book out. We got a newer edition that looks pretty good. Really good seasonality to it. Amazon doesn't seem to come off of it ever though, unfortunately. This one is definitely another college book. Does not pop up quite like I like it. It's like I'm looking at, so if you look at the buy box, like the pink box is the buy box for used. If you look at that, it's an amazing book, like really good book. But I don't like to base my business off of that criteria. I like to look at this lowest used offer count, offer price. Sorry, the lowest used offer price. This is what I want to go off of because like I said before, it's if you get that Amazon playing games with you again and they just decide to give it to the lowest used offer or lowest used price, then we're screwed. Like that's the problem. So the thing you got to do is just make sure that you're going off of that, and then if they do play with you a little bit, it won't hurt you as much. It hurt me. Don't get me wrong. Like I had some problems whenever that Amazon played those games with us. But I didn't have like bad problems. Like everyone else was like freaking out that they weren't getting the buy box. Like, and I was feeling it, but I was just like, but it's kind of the times, it was February, March, and I was like, well, it's gonna be low even with or without this issue. And then it wasn't until I reached out to somebody and they were like, no, look at your sales. You'll see a dip, and you'll see that you're not getting the buy box a lot of books. And I wasn't. It was true, but it wasn't as bad because I was already the lowest price on a lot of books. You know what I'm saying? So if you go off that lowest price, you might be able to survive those dips or those Amazon changes, I should say. But you never know though. They could change the whole game on us, and then everything that we thought we knew is out the window, and gotta love Amazon. Let's see, 48, 49. This is looking like a good book. Let's see, the historical past. Yeah, always seems to come back. Back here, it was a little low and just kind of stayed low. So if we go pre-2020, it's not really a good book, but we look at everything in front of 2020, it dips down and always comes back up to at least 40s, 50s, 30s, I guess. And if we get it at 1249, it's acceptable, heavy highlighting and notes. What was this one? Goodwill. So this one I would go for unless it said something about water damage. And the spine and cover are also intact. All pages are intact, and spine and cover are also intact. This item may have highlighting, okay, it might be missing a dust jacket, which would suck. What is this? That's a hardcover, so it probably does have a dust jacket. I would still go for this book, honestly. Just because Goodwill, they have a way of, you know, getting, getting they're I guess what I'm trying to say, they're under conditioning their books. They're saying, all right, it's a good book, just list it as acceptable. That way, you don't have any problems. And so I've always had really good buys whenever it comes to Goodwill. They've always, if it's an acceptable book, it's at least going to be acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you buy from some booksellers, that especially those large conglomerate companies, if you buy an acceptable book, you're not always getting an acceptable book. You know, or if you buy a good one, even with some of them, if it says good, I always go for it and just hope for the best. But sometimes I'll get some that doesn't have a dust jacket, and it's like, guy, that's not a good book. That's an acceptable book, you know. Like, yeah. Anyways, but I think that'd be about it for the day. That's pretty much how I source with Bookmine. Again, there is a link in the description down below if you want to check it out. There's a 15-day free trial on there and everything. I do highly recommend it. I would go for the mid one. There's 3 tiers of your subscription. Go for the mid one and take advantage of the classes, because the classes is really, I think, what separates it from anything. Victor and Joji, they do every week they have a class either with them two or with their associate Chet. They'll have a class every week with that. And on top of that, they just did like a high school master class where they charged other people, like, I think it was $500, or no, it wasn't quite that much, $300, something like that. Anyways, I didn't pay for it because I was a Bookmine member, but Bookmine members got it all for free, and that was huge. That really really helped me understand the seasonality and things, and when to look for the peaks and the valleys and all that stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.